Did it go?
Okay.
Oh, hey.
Yes.
Hey, everybody. This is Kasey. This is Sherry. How are you? Good morning. We
Good
are
morning.
going live now with you guys to have a conversation with you guys. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. And we are coming to you live to talk to you about suicide awareness, mental health awareness, and prevention of suicide in multiple ways. So I'm first going to introduce myself. My name is Kasey Latta. I am a prophet and a Bible teacher. And I do social media ministry, as well as we have a ministry called the SuicideWatchmen prayer team, which is what we're doing for today. And so I wanted you guys to just come in with us as we have this conversation, because a lot of times people don't talk about suicide and the things that concern suicide. And so it's really important for us to discuss those things and to talk about them so that people can be well aware of what God is going to do. So it's really important, it's really powerful, and it's really pertinent to what we do every single day. So we wanted to have this conversation because this is Mental Health Awareness Month, and it is a Maternal Mental Health Month. So that's what that is, in the name of Jesus. Sherry, do you have your iPhone, or do you have your phone with you?
I do.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to introduce me, and then I'm going to I just did that, and then I just want to say a little bit about the ministry that we have, which is the Watchmen, and we'll go into a little bit what we do, and then Sherry's going to talk about who she is and how she came to be a part of the ministry. Go ahead, Sherry.
Hi, I'm Sherry Evans, and I'm a team leader for the Suicide Watchmen prayer
Uh-oh,
team.
the wrong
And
stuff.
I lost you. And
Yeah,
I met Kasey.
we're back.
You got me. I met
Yeah.
Kasey in 2018, 17, 18 at a rally. I met her through um, watching her on a rally on YouTube, and I had to meet her. I had an event in Riverside, and I was like, she got to come here, you know. She was passionate about suicide prevention, and she came and spoke and gave us a lot of encouragement. And I wanted to be a part of what she was, her mission to prevent suicide. And we just wanted to team up together to spread the awareness of suicide prevention. And so then after that, she put me on her team, and we've been going ever since. And so I am just really blessed to be a advocate for suicide prevention. And so I'm gonna pass it right back to Kasey.
Hi, I'm just see if I can get us up on Instagram. Please
Okay,
keep it
so
going. Keep.
I'm just
I'm
gonna keep talking.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep the.
Okay, and also, suicide was, weighing heavy on my family. I had a lot of family members that were just feeling depressed and lonely and sad, and it was just becoming just tormenting our family, and also me, and so feeling just things going on in our family that this topic just kept coming up. And so I just wanted to make other people in our family aware of the topics that we're going to be talking about today. And so passing it on, because a lot of people don't have the information. And so I'm glad that we have this platform that we are getting the word out to people, so they too will know the information. So
Right,
I'm gonna
right.
give yes.
Amen. That's right. Amen. So if you, Sherry, if you have your phone, you can go on to Instagram and join the video, and then you'll be on video with me also on Instagram, because right
Okay.
now video here, we're live video on Facebook and YouTube. Hey, how
Okay.
are you? Thanks for coming in. Hey, Jajisa. Hey, Sasha. Let me go ahead and see who's with me from the comments. Let me see who is with me on the comments. Let me see. Let's go here. Over here, we have Danielle Johnson. Hey, Danielle, how are you? So good to see you, beautiful. Hey, thank you. She said, hey, beautiful ladies. So nice to see you guys. Okay. So, like Sherry said, we do social media ministry. And part of what we do is talk about suicide prevention because, like Sherry said, it was something that was coming up in her family. So it was also something that I personally dealt with growing up. Sherry, there you are. Okay.
I
Sherry
hear
has
you. I see you. I
let
joined
me
you.
see. You join. Okay, let me get you. Go live with Sherry. Okay. Go live with Sherry. So this is new. We're doing like a StreamYard situation and we're doing an Instagram
Hey,
situation.
here I am.
Oh, it's echoing. Oh, it's
Oh,
echoing. I don't know if it's my phone echoing or your phone echoing or it's just the phone. Oh, so maybe that it might not work because of the echo. Sorry
yeah.
about that. Okay, maybe that's what it is. It your phone, Sherry?
I
Or
don't
my phone?
know. I
It
turned
wasn't
my
echoing.
volume down.
Okay, it's gone. Hey,
Okay.
Tanya. Okay, so it's a little bit of echo. It's an echo. So what I can do is, I guess when I'm talking, you could turn it down. Okay, yeah, I hear it. It's still doing it. It went away and then it came back. So you didn't do it? You didn't do anything different?
No, I turned my volume down.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It might be the computer or it might be the cell phone. I'm not sure which one it is, but I guess because I'm doing it on two different things, it's giving me a problem. So I may have to let go of one so I could do the other because I don't know how to figure out how to do it without the feedback. Are you hearing feedback on your end?
Yes, I am. A little.
Okay, it's probably my phone. It's probably my phone. Okay, I wanted. I'll probably have to just post it then. I'll have to take it and post it because
Okay.
I can't
Well,
stay on both.
I'm gonna get off.
Okay. Well, okay. I'll. Okay. Yeah. I don't know how to do it. Okay. Is it still doing it now? Okay. So it didn't do it now. Okay. Praise be to the Lord. I don't know what it is. I guess I'll have to troubleshoot that and figure it out. I guess it's because it's too many noises coming from too many different directions. But we'll figure that out next time, and I'll figure out how to try to do it with everybody. Okay, so get into the conversation. It's really important that we have these conversations. That's why it's called keeping the conversation going, because we just want people to be aware that doing it God's way is sometimes the best way. And we just want to do what God put in our heart to do. So what we want to do is we want to highlight and talk about things that concern people with mental health, so that people will have the courage and they will have the desire to want to talk about the things that are hurting in their lives, so that they could get better. And so it's really important that as people who work in the mental health field have reminded us often, that it's important to break the stigma against mental health and talk about the things that are bothering you and the things that could be harming you by keeping them all bottled up inside. So it's not very healthy to do that. So it's important that we learn how to talk about our mental health and figure out how to get it going in a good way. So I'm the founder of the Suicide Watchmen. Sherry is my team leader, or one of the team leaders with Laura as well. And so I just want to throw out a statistic for you. Over 1 million people die from suicide yearly, over 1 million. And also every 40 seconds is the time frame, but now it's somewhere between 24 and 40 seconds that someone takes their life every day, every 24 to 40 seconds. That is very, very high. And so it's important that we understand that as we're having this conversation, someone is going through something. It's so really important that we start talking about these things and not glaze over them, gloss over them, or move beyond them. So Sherry is going to tell you some information about suicide prevention, like phone numbers and information, because it's important that we talk about that. So go ahead, Sherry. Sherry's going to add to you.
Okay. We have the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, and that number is 1-800-273-8255. And that number is a number that you can call, and no one will come pick you up, seek you out, or anything. It's just merely a conversation. to understand what's going on, how you're feeling. And so, you don't have to be afraid to call that number. You can call that number for any reason whatsoever, just have a conversation. And, we also have the suicide prevention crisis text line. And that text line number for the US is 741-741. And you can simply text home, help, and that's for the United States. But they also have the text line for Canada, which is 686868. And that's for Canada. They have Australia, which is 131114. They have UK for 85258. And so they have many more numbers opening up that they have for different countries, the text line. And you just text home or help, and those numbers, the text line for the crisis text line. They have a new number coming out in 2022, which will be a universal number, so you don't have to do all these numbers, which is 988. And we'll be so happy to have that number. And Kasey's putting that up for you. And on the Suicide Watchmen page, we put those numbers up for you. And, so you'll have it. And, it's good to have a notepad or have it on your refrigerator for, your loved ones to have those numbers, because, a lot of people wish they had those numbers readily available, just like we know that 911 is a number that you can readily call for help. But in cases like this, it's vitally important to have those numbers because they're trained to help you in these situations.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like Sherry said, it's good to have that stuff available because people don't understand that they need that until they need that. And you don't necessarily see something like that coming where someone's having a mental health breakdown or mental health crisis. And then if you're not aware of the things to do, you feel at a loss. And so you just call 911. And so many times people do that and they do send help. But you have to also just be aware that there's hospitals that you can go to. You can drive your person to the emergency room. You can also, call that lifeline number, 800-273-8255. People can talk to you, give you resources in your area, tell you how to get some help, because we need to be aware. We're taught growing up to call 911 in a case of an emergency, but we don't have phone numbers and access to local mental health communities and facilities, which we should, because it is another form of care. It is another form of care that people don't talk about all the time. So it's important to get that out there. So I wanted to talk a little bit about why mental health is so important. Mental health is important because of the physical health related to mental health. You can become physically ill if you don't take care of your mental health. If you are thinking lowly about yourself or in a state of depression, it will affect your physical. It will make you tired. It will make you sad, lowly. It will make you not want to do things, go places, do your job, live your life, be the parent you are, the wife you are, the student you are. It can affect your physical body. It'll stop you from sleeping. It will make you feel underneath and not above, and it will interfere with how you function as a person. So in order to have a better and more well-rounded life, it's important that your physical health is there and your mental health is connected to your physical health. So if your mental is affected, your body will start to become affected. So it's important that you take care of your physical health. The other one is your emotional health. Your emotional health is really important. How you feel inside about yourself. Whether or not you're saying good things about yourself or having good feelings about yourself, or that you're surrounding yourself with individuals that honor you and uphold you and uplift you. And if you're not in that situation, that you have access to other people who can pour into you when other people are not. So emotional health is really important. It's about how I feel about me, how I feel about myself, how I feel about who I am. That's emotional health, and that's important. A happier life is what comes from good mental health. You will feel happier when you feel like you are at your best, or you feel like you're doing all you can, or you feel like you're growing, or you're changing, or you're becoming something else, or you're moving past a negative part of your life into a positive part of your life, you're going to start feeling better about, the person that you are. um, and then education. If you are studying or a student of something or becoming something, if your mental health is not there, you're not going to focus well, you're not going to
Right.
test well, you're not going to get good grades, you're not going to reach those goals. So it's really, hey everybody, hello, it's really important that you understand that. And so people don't take it for granted that mental health is always well, because things could change and make your mental health not be in a good space. Hey, how are you, Kevin? Sherry, what do you think about your mental health and how it affects everything? Oh, can you hear me, Sherry?
Your mental health affects a lot because, yes, your mental health affects a lot. It affects you're getting up in the morning, you have to get up with expectancy that it's going to be a great day. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, if you put in your mind you're going to be down, you're going to be down. But
Mm-hmm.
just get up with expectancy that it's going to be a great day. The sun is up. The sun is up. The sun is bright, and you just have to just kind of build yourself up to have a good day. Build yourself up to be happy. And you were talking about your physical health. And I wanted to point out that when you're down and sad, it will stress you out to the point that you don't have energy and you become fatigued. And
Right.
I'm going to be talking about warning signs, and when you're mental, it'll zap all your energy out. It'll make you
Yes.
fatigued. So I just want to point that out, and it'll it'll affect your relationships, because if you're sad and you're down, then
Mm-hmm.
that energy is spread throughout your relationships.
Oh,
Then
wow.
everybody else will say, "Oh, it's a sad day. We're not happy," and so then it'll make other people not want to be happy. So I
Right.
like those points that you made out of the relationships. So
Amen.
it's a
Okay.
struggle.
Okay. Let us know, Sherry.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you need to look out for as far as like warning signs where someone is going down or feeling depressed, or some of the things that could show that someone's thinking about suicide because of mental health?
Giving away their prized possessions. If people are saying, "Hey, you want this? You want that?" and you're like, "No, that's your favorite piece of jewelry. Why would you give that away?" That's one telltale sign that someone is,
Mhm.
trying to, take in their life.
Right.
Another one is isolation. If they're
Isolation.
not wanting to hang around family or friends, it's Memorial Weekend, they don't want to come to the barbecue. They don't want to get vitamin D. It's a bright sunny day. It's beautiful outside, and they never want to go outside. You know, we've been dealing with COVID, and it's starting to open up a little bit. And, a lot of people have been suffering and they don't want to go outside. And so,
Yes.
invite them to go outside. A lot of people are isolated, to
Yeah.
be around family and friends. And people, if they're angry all the time, if they're
Yes.
angry for no apparent reason, that's a warning sign. Of
Yeah.
if they're sad a lot and nothing can bring them up, if you take
Mhm.
somebody to dinner or something and they're just sad, or if you bring flowers to people and they're just sad, and that's a telltale sign. If they seem to be a little bit withdrawn, just withdrawing from just being around people, or which is goes on hand in hand with isolation, but just seem to be a little bit withdrawn, that's a telltale sign. Hopelessness, if they feel like there's no hope for them, um, uh, just feeling like, hey, it's no hope for me. I'm useless, or I'm worthless, individual. That's a telltale sign. If they're feeling
Yeah.
like they're a burden, it's
Mm,
so many signs to look out for. If they sleep a lot, that's really a telltale sign.
yeah, that is a
You
very
know,
telltale sign.
sleeping a
Another,
lot, and
yeah, I
go
think
ahead,
people don't.
Kasey. You want to?
I think people don't notice sometimes. They'll just say things like, "Oh, that's just my teenager," but I think we
Right,
can sometimes mistake behaviors, and sometimes we think, "Oh,
right,
that behavior is just them being a teenager." But if you couple that behavior with some of the other signs that you just mentioned, you may be
right,
noticing depression in your teen or in your
right,
spouse or your
right,
parent. People who
right,
you don't think are depressed carry depression,
right.
and we just notice it.
And
So
we
it's
sweep
really,
it under the rug.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll sweep
We,
it under the rug. But yeah. Um, Aggravated a lot. If you're aggravated all the time for everything,
mm,
nothing seems to make you happy. You just aggravated for some
see,
particular
people
reason.
associate aggravation with depression because you
Right.
seem mad. So people don't think, oh,
Yeah.
you're depressed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And one of the main ones is people talking about they don't want to be here no more, calling and saying goodbye. And you're like,
Mm,
you saying goodbye? Where you going? You know,
right.
that's a telltale sign that they're saying goodbye. They're calling loved ones and saying bye. I'm
And
gonna miss you.
people who don't want to talk about future, like they don't have plans for
Right,
the future, you try to talk to them about something in the future, and they have nothing to say, as if they have made no
right.
plan or
No
provision for
plan.
any future. So
Right,
yeah, I feel just general things in a conversation that if you didn't know was a warning sign, you would easily overlook it.
right,
But it's important to know the pieces that go together so that you can see when your person is deeply wounded, depressed, and possibly
right,
suicidal. It's really
right,
important. You think they just had a hard day. You think it's just the pandemic. You think it's just their work. It's just their occupation. You think it's just they're in menopause or they're hormonal or
right,
whatever you think. And then what you come to find is that there's something even deeper than what you first saw.
right,
And so it's
right.
really important that we talk about that part right there, right? Because
That's
we don't always
yeah,
remember. We don't always see it, and we don't always
correct.
remember. I want to
Right.
go ahead. Was that all? Was that all the signs, Sherry?
Yeah, that's pretty
Oh,
much it. But a lot of the signs go hand in hand, and they
mm-hmm.
kind of they duplicate themselves. So, but
Yeah.
those are the major key signs to look for. So,
Amen. Amen. Thank
mhm.
you. Deborah says, I get depressed when I go through something, and I believe God got me. Thank you, Jesus. I believe God got
Thank
me too, Deborah. But I think a lot of times, as other Christians are around us sometimes, and our family members who love us, they see us for who we are or what they see that we are, but they sometimes don't get to the deeper root of it. And that's why a lot of people can get away with saying, I'm fine. People can get away with saying, there's nothing wrong with me, or they can get away with saying, like, oh, this is just a phase. And when we don't take to heart what we're actually seeing and putting it together, we can really, really miss seeing somebody who's in grave danger. So I feel like it's really important that if people around you aren't talking about depression and suicide prevention, and good mental health, then you need to talk about it. I love the fact that I'm hearing more and more about people talking about mental health matters and that mental health is important, along with self-care. I mean, mothers need a break. Fathers need a
Yep.
break. Teachers need a break.
Yeah.
Students need a break. Okay. Ministry leaders, they need a break. I be taking breaks. God be like, girl, stop, sit down, rest. You gotta rest. You have to take a break. Sometimes you gotta take a break from your family, right? If your
Yeah.
family is so pulling on you and time consuming and mentally taxing on you, sometimes you got to be like, okay, me and my family are about to go away and we're not going to be with you. Or maybe me and dad have to go away because you kids is not helping me today. And you
Yeah.
and the family you and the husband got to go away because the kids are causing something. What did you say? I found when it's hard to make plans, I'm depressed. Things are small as planning to go on a walk. I found when it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to do even the very small things because that's how it starts. It's like, oh, you know what? I'm not feeling my best. And I'm gonna go with you because like this whole pandemic, I'm sorry, I don't really have a problem not going outside. I just don't. I think everything that I need is in my house. So I'm like, I didn't really have a hard time. Oh, I'm missing this, I'm missing that. So for me, guys, it was the reverse, making myself go out of the house. I'm like, I love Instacart. I love people dropping stuff off. I love people putting things here in front of me. So it would make me not go out less. I was already not going out a lot, but now it was even less going out. Like, you mean I ain't got to never go out? So then when I would have to go out, I'd be like, dang, I got to go out. I don't want to go out. I don't want to go to the doctor. I don't want to go to the grocery store. I don't want to drive across town. I don't want to drive here or drive there because I was comfortable being in my bubble. And like some people, they're the opposite. They were antsy. They were like, I got to get out. I got to get out. Where I got to go hike. I got to go get on a plane. I got to go. And I'm like, I'm good. And so there's the opposite. It's like I had to force myself to re-engage with life because I had got comfortable. I was like, I'm good in here. And I had to kind of push myself to start going back to the store and start making my appointments again and start doing that stuff again because it's for my mental health, because it's better that I get out and interact sometimes than be isolated a lot of the time. Even if it's just, oh, hey, let's go have a lunch or let's go visit a person. Or now that we can start to do that, or if it's just to go get your nails done, go get your hair done, or like go get a nice shave if you need a clean shave, or go on a weekend. It's important to take care of your mental health. And I feel like people don't understand that. Here's another mental health thing, telling people, no, I can't do that for you. Guys, this is an important mental health thing. I'm sorry. I would like to help you, but my schedule is full, or I'm otherwise occupied, or me adding that is going to stress me out or make it worse for me. So I would love to be there for you or to help you. But right now I have to do self-care. So you're saying no is your mental self-care. Yes, some kind of social, like, yeah, Tanya, because I was like, I'm good on in this house for about 5 years and don't need to go. No way. But now that I'm back out there starting to talk to people and reconnect, which is good. You should talk to people and you should reconnect because you don't know how God's going to use you. But yeah, for me, I hear people tell me all the time that they get overburdened and overwhelmed, but it's because you have a compassion to help people and you don't want to say no. Right. But as much as you say yes, you're hurting you sometimes. And if you fall to pieces, you're not going to be helping anybody, not you, not your family, or not people. So you have to kind of be like, okay, according to what I have going on health-wise and family-wise and ministry-wise or church-wise or whatever is going on, now I have to go and say no so I'm okay. And it's okay for you to say no, I can't, so I can be okay. No, I can't go to your dinner. I can't go to your meeting. I can't go to your lunch. I can't go to your hangout. I can't go join you here. Although you would love me to come, and I'm glad that you asked me. With how things are set up in my life right now, I'm not going to be able to do that for my mental health. Certain people you may not be able to hang out with because of your mental health. Certain people you may not be able to talk to long periods of time because of your mental health. That doesn't make you a bad person. Right. That makes you an aware person. That you're like, oh, I have to be aware that this is not a good association. What do you think, Sherry?
Right. I think that's true because I know some people, if they don't give you joy, that can stress you out. You know, if you're around people that's making you angry all the time, like one of the warning signs I said, that could stress you out. It could your mental health state down. If you're around somebody that's giving you a lot of grief, every time you're around them and they're not lifting you up, they're tearing you down, that could destroy your mental health. And
Yes.
so, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. And during this pandemic, it's like taking baby steps to go to the store now. Like for me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to walk in the neighborhood. And I'm like, okay, that's a win. Because
Right.
I'm used to my husband going to the store, and I used to go to the store. So it's taking baby steps.
Yeah, like something I would just
So
run out of the house and just do. I'm like, do I want to do this? So yeah, it's
yeah.
inching your way
Well,
back out there. But I feel like it's good. Mental health is important, even in your marriage. Marital. Have you guys ever talked about marital mental health? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how when you're married, sometimes you may need for your well-being and their well-being for there to be some space. Maybe you need to get out. Maybe you need to go do an activity without your spouse. Maybe you need your own downtime. Maybe you need to, you have date nights. Sometimes it's good to have me time. So sometimes you have to do that in your relationship, especially if your spouse is a person who requires a lot of attention and energy. You may need to recuperate from the time that you're spending with your person. It doesn't mean you don't love them. It just means that you're just getting refreshed so that you can just continue to be the spouse that you are. But I feel like a lot of times when we're married, we don't care for our own personal mental health sometimes because we're doing things for our spouse. But it's important that we talk about that, because it's important, it's valuable. Because sometimes your spouse doesn't pick up on what you're going through because they're busy doing them. They may not pick up on your emotions, or they may not pick up on your needs. So it's important to do that too. It's important for personal mental health. And your kids need
yeah.
breaks too. Parents, they don't want to see you all the time. They don't want to hang out with you all the time. They don't want to cuddle with you or watch a movie with you all the time. They want to hang out or be with someone their own age, someone who they don't call mom or dad, somebody who they think is more fun than you. And yes, there are people who are more fun than you, more people that are interesting to them, more people that they'd rather have conversations with, that they don't feel like they're being in trouble or being judged. So don't take it personal when your child is saying, I may not want to be underneath you in this moment. It's just that I want to have time too. Because remember, going to school is not easy. I don't know if you guys remember, high school was hard. Junior high can be hard. Elementary school can be difficult. College can be crazy. So yeah, they're out there doing things, some of them back in school, some of them online, but it's stressful getting ready for a test, taking an exam, not doing well on one, and then feeling the bad feelings from that, or a relationship of some sort, a friendship of some sort, not working out how you thought. So the same types of emotions and things that we may go through, they go through on their level. So understand, your kids need mental health. Take them to get something to eat. Let them get their nails done. Bless them with the gift because they need things too. So don't assume that because they're little people, that the little people don't need to have good mental health. Yeah, they do. Hey, Ayana.
Right.
The little people in your life, maybe your daughter, is having a hard time in her marriage. Maybe she just needs a girls' weekend. Or maybe your son is feeling underneath. Maybe he needs a gift basket. Or maybe your college kid is homesick and they need you to come visit, do something, because we forget sometimes that our kids need us too, and they have mental health as well, and it counts and it's important. Ayana, Sherry, Ayana saying hi. Ayana is saying hi.
Hey, Ayana.
So I want to talk about a couple of things. Mental health. We talked about how the physical is affected because your mind and your body are connected. And so many mental ailments cause stress, which lower the immune system. And this means more frequent sicknesses. So that's a reason why the mental health is so important. It also ends the stigma and the shame that leads to better lives when you have good mental health, as well as your mental health affects everything else. It affects how we cope with life. It affects how it can lead to a hopeless place or a hopeless lifestyle. And we don't want that to happen. So it's really important that we take care of this mental health. So, Sherry, I wanted to turn it over to you to talk to us because this is Maternal Mental Health Month as well as Mental Health Awareness Month. So I wanted Sherry to talk to us about maternal mental health. Did you guys know that there was such a thing as maternal mental health? Women who go through trauma because of being pregnant, in postpartum, or before or during the pregnancy, or even just as a mom in general, being overburdened and overbearing in your role as a parent. So, Sherry, let us know more about maternal mental health.
You know, according to the World Health Organization, about 10% of women and 13% of new mothers, they experience mental disorders, mainly because of depression. And the numbers are, and this is all over the world. And the numbers during pregnancy is like 15.6% during pregnancy, and after birth is like 19.8% after birth. In severe cases, mothers are suffering. Suffering might be so severe that they take their life. And
Yes.
so a lot of mothers face depression. You know, am I gonna be a great mother? You know, after the baby's born, the attention is more drawn to the baby and not her. You know, so it's a lot of factors that go into the mental state of a mother, a new mom, and the mothers that deal with postpartum depression. Just the crying of the baby. They didn't take the mental state in. It could be the fact that they have a history of depression, in their families, and it kind of lapped over after they had the baby. And, I talked about some of this on the broadcast the other day, and because this is Maternal Mental Health Awareness Month. They have so many organizations that help new mothers, Black and infant health organizations, to help new mothers cope with the transition of being pregnant and after they have the baby, just basic things like the care of the baby. And some of these mental health disorders like depression and postpartum, they determine the the weight of the baby. If you don't take care of your mental state and you're depressed while you're pregnant, it determines the weight of the baby. They
Oh,
have
wow.
low birth weight because of
I didn't,
their mental health. And I didn't know that. I was like,
I didn't
what?
know that
So
either.
a lot of women
Oh,
that suffer mentally, they don't take care of themselves. Like you talked about the physical earlier, and
yeah.
they don't eat properly. They don't sleep properly. And you
Mm,
need your sleep and you need to eat when you're pregnant, and so
wow.
that determines, that affects the baby's birth, the birth weight
Thought
of the baby.
that. So
So
that's when you're pregnant and you're going through depression.
right,
Right?
right,
'Cause most times they talk about afterwards. But wow,
right.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes sense if you're suffering with mental health disorder and you don't take care of yourself while you're pregnant, you don't eat right, you don't sleep right, that affects the baby. And then when you after you and if you don't address those situations while you're pregnant, after you have the baby, you still, not taking care of yourself, you're not taking care of the baby properly. So it's good
Right.
to have a good support system when you have the baby. If you need, like you said earlier, if you need a break, if you need a babysitter while you get your self care under control, if
Right.
you need somebody to watch the baby while you sleep a couple of hours because the baby's up throughout the night and you're taking care of the baby,
Yeah.
get you a good support system together. And so, as this is Maternal Mental Health Month, I implore young mothers to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
You already up all night taking care of the kids, the baby. Take care of yourself. Like you said earlier, go get your nails done, go get your hair done, because so
It's
many
so
times
important.
mothers.
People
So
take for granted the very small daily necessities. Go get your eyebrows waxed. Go get a
right,
massage. Go
yeah,
fix your, yeah. Just anything that you can do that's going to make you feel better about yourself.
right. Uh,
Anything.
so many times mothers neglect themselves
So
for the
much.
kid.
So much. All the time. So much.
So
We
I
spend
did.
time helping. I would have to say most mothers do on some level neglect themselves to a certain degree
Right,
so that they can make sure their children have what they need,
right,
which is what we do as moms. That's our role.
right,
Yeah, when people
right,
think about postpartum, Sherry, I think most people talk about it in terms of, oh, how I feel after the baby. I know of people who have had it. I've not had it myself
right.
through my two pregnancies, but it can be so devastating to the
Yeah,
mother how they feel
yeah,
afterwards.
yeah. My daughter had postpartum depression,
Oh wow.
and thank God that she had a support system to help to take care of my grandbaby. It made, it was just a transition of all the attention's on the baby now, and what about me? And so that's why I made that statement, because
Mhm.
so many times when you're pregnant, you're like, oh, look at me, baby, I'm having a baby, and the baby shower and all the pomp and circumstance of that. And then once the baby's here, everybody's like, "Oh, look at the baby," and you're like, just you're crying and you don't know why you're crying. And so for young mothers, first time mothers, you don't
Yeah.
think about them. So it was just easy for us to say, "Hey, go get your nails done." You know,
Yes.
I got the baby. Go get your nails done. And
It's
so,
so
so
it's so
once a
important.
week, I get my grandbaby. So,
Oh, you do? Oh, that's once a week. Well, yeah, she's over there
yeah.
all the time though. She's over there all the time. Um, but I
So
mean,
she can
like
get her nails done.
to get her nails. I think it's like
Yeah.
important, even for those moms who are feeling those moms who are having those feelings that they feel guilty of having because they've had the baby. They're not happy and they're not joyous, and the baby's crying and it's bothersome,
Yes.
and they're having a hard time connecting with the baby and
Right.
linking with the baby and feeling negative thoughts about the baby. And so this is really important that we talk about how when a woman is going through these types of emotions, they need to reach out and get help.
And the other part is, am I going to be a good mother? Like if the baby doesn't latch on, like for, breastfeeding and stuff, that was another issue.
Yeah.
Baby don't want my milk. And a lot of times mothers go into depression. And so that's why I
Yeah.
said, you have to have a good support system, you know, in place, when first time mothers, once they go home from the hospital, it's like, now what? So
Right. Right.
you really have to check on their mothers and say, you need anything? You okay? So I think it's vitally important that if you know someone that has a baby, don't just get them a baby gift, check on them.
Oh yeah, it's so important to do that. I hear what you're saying, Sherry. That is very important. I feel like sometimes though, like if you're in a situation where you are a new mother and you don't have a support system, if you are having negative feelings towards your child or the
Right,
pregnancy afterwards, please reach out to your doctor. There's
right,
medication, therapists, and
right,
people who are ready, who are fully aware of these emotions that you're having, who can talk you through this, because we don't want anything to happen to the child and we don't want anything to happen
right,
to you, because these
right,
feelings can lead to suicide
right,
if unchecked. It can happen.
right, right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Was there any more that you found out, Sherry, about maternal suicide?
No,
I mean, about
that was just a wrap up of what I talked about
okay,
on Thursday. So
on
yeah.
Thursday. Okay. Got you. Got you. I wanted to highlight a couple groups on here, but I'll do that towards the end. And then I want to talk about some mental health apps, because this is, like Sherry said, it's Mental Health Awareness Month and it's Maternal Mental Health Awareness Month. So a lot of times nowadays, we have a lot of things that are going on tech-wise that can help us with our mental health that we did not have before. I'm going to start downloading some of these apps, okay? Because see, people think because it's a mental health app that it's about you getting therapy. Every mental health app is not about therapy, okay? Sometimes you just need to sit somewhere and think about yourself and what's going on. So some of the mental health apps bring things out in us that we maybe didn't know we were dealing with. So it's important to sit there. So there's some tools and some insights to reduce and build up your mental health. These are just apps that help build your mental health and put you in a better mood. So here's one of the best ones. It's called Mood Fit. Mood Fit, okay? Helps get you in a better mood by doing a series of exercises and things on the app, and a series of questions for you to assess where you are to help try to raise you up. There's the Shine app. The Shine app was created for BIPOC. Next month is Black, Indigenous, People of Color Mental Health Awareness Month, which is BIPOC, People of Color. And they have made an app, and there's, for the group, this group of people, there's an app called Shine. And it's a meditative app. They're on a mission to make caring for your mental health, emotional health easier and more representative of people of all colors, that is inclusive. Also, there's Mood Mission. This is also to help you with learning to cope with things. Like if something bad is going on in your life, this app is trying to give you a set of things to do to help you cope. And then there's Talkspace, where I believe you can also actually talk to therapists and talk through things. There's different apps that talk in group settings. There's Sanvelo, that is Sanvelo. There's Headspace. There's Happify. There's Depression CBT Self-Help Guide. And let's see, Brain.fm, Pacifica, Worry Watch, Mood Path, Talk Life, What's Up, Super Better. So these are just some of the apps that are out there, and you can just try them out on your Apple Store, your Google Play Store, and see, read through them and see, hey, maybe I could just add this one or two apps to my phone. And when I have some downtime at my lunch hour, or if I have some downtime in the house, I can sit here and I can meditate on this positivity. I can sit here and process through this application here and see what it does to me and making me feel better about myself, my day, my mood. So I think that's cool. It says one study found that 90% of the people who tried a mental health app reported improvements in their motivation, in their confidence, in their attitudes about mental and emotional health. And so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So thank you. That's awesome. So many things are different. So many things are different with our mental health. What does it say? Women are affected greater by depression. Oh, okay. This was just the app giving me some statistics about mental health. It's saying that women globally are affected to a greater extent by depression, anxiety, and psychological distress, that Black adults in the U.S. are more likely to report persistent psychological distress. People in the LGBTQ community are 2 times as likely to have mental health conditions, and transgender as well, 4 times as likely. And only 1 in 3 Black adults in the U.S. will need mental health care. Who need mental health care will go get it or receive it. So these are just some statistics that are out there. It says 33% of Latino adults with mental health illnesses are likely to get treatment. Only 33%. That's a low percentage. Asian American adults are 3 times less likely to get treatment than their counterparts in other races. And 86% of psychologists in the U.S. are Caucasian, 5% Asian, 5% Hispanic, 4% Black, and 1% is multiracial. So it's telling you that a certain population of the people in our country are opening up and working in that field and making more opportunities. Whereas the cultural part of America, where we have multiple races and people who are multicultural, we are at the low end of getting mental health help. So it's really important that all people of all races come together and make it readily available in all neighborhoods and all communities, and have people going into these fields from these communities to help everybody. So that part right there, that needs to change. So that's something we need to talk about with mental health. That needs to change. So Sherry, did you know on the list? Can you tell them some of the highlighted groups that we have for a maternal health month?
For maternal, we have some highlighted groups. We have Motherhood Understand, which um, supports postpartum mental health and maternal mental health. We have Postpartum Support International, which is 1-800-944-4773. And you can go to www.mamamatters, matters.com,
Mm-hmm.
.au, and get support, mom support with their babies. And it's so many support groups that you can Google to get support.
Yeah.
I highlighted a group, the Blue Dot Project, and that
Oh,
helps with it's a motherhood group that you
oh,
can. It's a nonprofit. They partner with Motherhood, and you can join them. They where mothers come together and about complications of of their pregnancies, and just different
yeah.
things that they go through. And so it's several groups that you can become a part of. They have mommy groups on Facebook that talk about their issues, and they have support groups that they come together. So I just want to just implore you to just call the number for postpartum support
Yeah.
international, 1-800-944-4773, to if you need support with your with depression, mental health, maternal mental health.
Amen.
So.
Amen. I want to also highlight some other organizations, Sherry, because there are
Mm-hmm.
so many organizations that talk about mental health and who really support
Right.
it and have embraced it as their core for what they do. There's this group called COA, COA. It's an all women's team, launched an emotional fitness gym with online offerings during the pandemic. So they came together to make a
Oh,
gym for mental health during the pandemic to help people, because everyone has talked about, doctors talk about how exercise improves your mental health. So these people came together
right.
and founded this group, this all women group that was going to be helping people with their mental health and their physical health. Then there's NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental
Yes.
Illness. NAMI helps all those who are going through things and of mental health wise, and it tries to connect you and link you up with organizations and support groups and help in this area. There's this group called SESH or SESH, SESH. And each week it offers 50 sessions from different facilitators from around the world with up to 14 others. And there's group sessions where they talk about body positivity and how to handle burnout and any type of anxiety. So they come together all over the world and they sit there and they help each other as a support system. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Then there's this group called Support Group Central. It has a platform that opens up support groups registration for low fee sessions. So it's a way for you to get out there and connect and talk, but not have to pay a lot of money. And so that's important. So that's awesome. So God has so many other things that are out there. Then they have Shine, which I talked about earlier, which brings mindfulness and gratitude with meditation, daily meditation. Then we have the Heartbroken Anonymous. That is a group of peer support for for communities like Alcoholics Anonymous, but for heartbreak. They're specifically there to talk about your heart being broken and going through that process. That's for your mental health. Then there's the mental health support group for fertility, pregnancy, and parenting. People need support who are going through infertility and to become parents, and that is what they need. Then there's Postpartum Support International, which we talked about. Resolve, the National Infertility Association, that's another one. The Asian Mental Health Project. The Asian Mental Health Project started offering free weekly check-ins to hold a space for Pan-Asian communities, started during COVID last year of March. There's the National Domestic Violence Hotline. And the purpose of that is to be a blessing to those who are suffering and hurting. And I wrote it down, but let me see what the number is. So the number is 800-799. Is it five? I can't read my writing. Oh, 800-799-SAFE. 800-799-SAFE, which is the number for National Domestic Violence. So praise God. Then there's Hope Recovery. Domestic violence has surged during the pandemic. It offers confidential support for those who are survivors of domestic violence. And so there's so many. Therapy for Black Girls. That's another group that's out there. The Therapy for Black Girls Sister Circle has over 400 members supporting each other via digital private groups. And they come together and talk about Black women's mental health. So that's important. That's important. Dealing with questions of faith. There's Recovering from Religion. I guess people who have felt hurt or wounded in these areas, they come together and they get support. So it's really, really important that we reach out. There's so many resources about mental health.
Yes.
I'm happy to see that just in the time that we have started doing the Suicide Watchmen group, that there's more every year. There's more apps. There's more conversation, more people talking. But as much as there's more, there's also less. People are still hurt, and people are still living their lives, and people are still not leaning in and grabbing hold of others. So our work is not done. It's just getting started, and we're just excited about what God is going to show us and what he's going to continue to do through us. So we're just glad to be able to come and be advocates against suicide so that we can help those who are in true need and want to be heard. People, don't be afraid to start the conversation about suicide prevention, because, or if a person maybe having thought of suicide, because the myth is, oh, you're going to make them want to do suicide or walk through suicide. No, the actuality is that you're taking the cap off of the pot and letting it breathe and giving them an ability and opportunity to actually talk about their feelings with you. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So that's all I had to share today. I don't know, Sherry, did you have something else you wanted to share that you had on the list, or something you wanted to pour in there that we missed?
Well, I just want to remind people to call these numbers, and just keep the numbers fresh in your mind. That if you know anyone that's hurting, or from these, from this topic of suicide, to please call the Suicide National Prevention Lifeline, which is 1-800-273-8255. And if they don't want to have the conversation with anybody live, to please text home or help to the Suicide National Crisis text line, which is text home or help at 741-741. And if you know anyone that is dealing with postpartum depression or anything like that, is 1-800-444-4773. So, want you to just make sure that get these numbers out to people that are in need and hurting, and considering not being here, because we definitely need them to be here.
We need you
That's what
here.
I want to add.
Your life matters. You count. You should be here. You deserve to be here. We want you here. No matter how hard it is today, it can change. And so I firmly believe that that is what is to happen for your life. I just pray over every person who may be hurting or wanting someone to be there for them or talk to them. I thank you, God, that you have set aside a place for them in this earth, in this world. And I believe and I receive that they shall have all that you have in store for them, God, that they will not go without, and that they will get everything that you have planted and rooted inside of them. And I thank you, Lord God, that they will continue. And like Sherry says, if you feel down, call for help, because help will come and then you will get to that next place. So don't give up. It matters that you're here, and we're so very happy to say over and over again, your life matters. You matter. Please feel free to join us on Facebook on our page, the Suicide Watchmen Prayer Team. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So feel free to join us as we will do and continue to do more talks and more events. We do have our big rally that is coming up in the fall, and we do plan to continue.
Yes.
That's right. Do not give up. Your life matters. You are important. You are such an individual that you can never be replaced. There is nothing in you that is wasteful, but everything that is important. And so understand this, that you cannot be replaced. You are irreplaceable. This world needs your creativity. It needs your thoughts. It needs your individual self. It needs your path, your pattern. It needs your life, your experiences. It needs your personality. It needs your presence. And if one group of people doesn't like it, we can move on and meet new people who will like it. So don't believe that the place that you are and unappreciated is the end of you. It is not the end of you. There are people who are loving and are accepting of you, and who will befriend you, and who will love you, and who will care for you, and who will be by your side, and who will stand by you. So God is here, and so is your ability to live here. And we want you to stay. We want you to remain. You must continue. You must continue.
Yes.
Come on, in the name of Jesus. So we love you. Me and Sherry both know what it's like to have thoughts of suicide, but it's okay. They pass. They pass. And even if you keep having them, go talk to someone and they'll help you figure out how to get past that and stay here. It's really important. So we love you guys. We love you, love you, love you. Yes, I'll ask for and call the 800 number, 800-8255. Okay, love everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Bye. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.
Right. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye, Sherry.